Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Realm Recap. I'm Jason from Yakface.com, joined by the Thunder from Down Under.
I
Like
like
I,
it, the Thunder from Down Under. I was also called the Bearded Wonder this week by
I saw that by the.
no, I know, by the Ginger Prince. Thank you, so Thunder from Down Under. I love it. How are you? This very long,
Oh,
hard working day you've had.
what
You
a
got a beer in hand?
I yeah. And short answer, yes. We won't count the empties over here.
I
It
was just
was
getting
the. Go ahead.
on your strip across your screen. You've got white/mail.
Uh, we'll
Is
get
this
to
in
that.
riff? Okay, fair enough.
Okay. It was a huge week again.
Yep.
Obviously, we'll get to it regarding the episode 7 official casting announcement, but a lot more toy news. Some of it we knew, some of it we didn't. Some of it costs an arm and a leg. Some of it is relatively achievable with a steady paying job, and you know, it's there's been the wide range of pricing and collectibles this week. Kicking things off, we're going to talk about the list, not the list, but the photos that were shown off at sandtroopers.com by our friend Dan Curto, who does some contribution work over at Sandtroopers. Obviously, he works over at Jedi News and does the Star Wars Collector's Cast with James Burns. Essentially, what happened is he received some images that were taken at in Glendale, California. I don't know why these images weren't shown to me when I was there 2 weeks
I
ago.
know.
I was like, what? What? I was not upset, but I was shocked that we didn't see the same type of thing. But again, this is Hasbro product, so I guess it makes sense. I'm not sure
Yeah.
where these were featured or shown or why, but there's a lot of reveals and confirmations on this poster, and
Yeah.
some of it is surprising. Others are reaffirmations of what we've known since about Toy Fair. So
Hmm. Well, the one, sorry,
go ahead.
the one that jumped out at me was Jedi Temple Guard. I don't recall
Yeah,
seeing anything in Rebels teasers or trailers.
right.
This is a Clone Wars
That is
figure.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's a Clone Wars one. So either that the figure itself is a carryover from something they planned for Clone Wars, or it's just a 5 POA rendition of the Jedi Temple Guard character. Obviously, we know that the Saga Legends line and the mission series are geared more towards the kid collector, being 5 points of articulation. So I don't expect much more from that action figure than being 5 points of articulation.
yeah. But I
Um,
think, as we were saying, this was the big one. The
yeah,
Rebel Obi-Wan Kenobi.
this is essentially unofficial official confirmation that Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to appear in the new series.
Which would kind of make sense.
Right, but
If he's-
that's kind of a big reveal, I guess I would say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even that ATDP pilot, we're just sharing this on screen here for those watching us. Although that's still the kind of concept art, it looks like that's a brand new figure, from we've seen all these other ones, Chopper and Callus and Cannon
Right,
and everything else, but
and
again,
it
new
makes
figures. Yeah,
it makes sense too because we're actually getting the ATDP vehicle in the line.
that's right. That's
They
right. We
showed
get
that off
that.
at Toy Fair. So, and they've shown concept art of not the action figure, but the 3D renderings from the Rebel series for that character. So it makes sense that we'll get one to actually pilot the toy that's coming out.
Did you pick up on why some were orange and some were yellow?
My best guess is it's waves. Like you'll get wave
That makes
one
sense.
are those orange highlighted figures. Wave two would be the yellow highlighted figures, and that kind of
Right.
carries over to the mission series below in that picture. That's me completely guessing. So
No, I think that's a good guess, Jason. I think you're very right. That's very likely. But
yeah.
as we're just saying again, just to try and pronounce that name. I'm just having a look here again. Did you mention this Chiwetel Vuango? You mentioned that was a Ralph McQuarrie kind of slate
Well,
to me.
I I have a separate new Rebel section in our toy guide, and I
Okay.
basically I entered this all of the characters listings that were revealed on this image poster and whatnot. And from what I can make out from the high res image, it's Chatro Vizago. I've got a question mark because it was kind of tough to tell in that image,
Mm.
and that figure is included with RG or excuse me IGRM, which is a concept
Well,
for
right.
IG88, which was done by Ralph McQuarrie. So that's kind of a nod to him
Definitely.
with that designation.
I'll just pull
So
that up.
looking at basically these lists, this is obviously a mix of characters that will show up in Rebels, not necessarily, this isn't strictly a only Rebels type of list or of characters. Obviously, Jango Fett's not going to be in Rebels. He's dead. But
Oh, is it
you've got two packs of Sabine and a Stormtrooper, and some of
Yep.
these are carryovers from what we currently know as the Darth Vader lava line look. That's kind of launched in 2013. Um, this the Obi-Wan and Grievous is going to come out this year in this current packaging that we're seeing at retail now. Who else? I think the Darth Vader, or excuse me, the Darth Sidious and Yoda is going to appear in both line looks. Probably the Vader Luke Skywalker. That's like the Bespin duel set. I think that's going to show up in both line looks. Um, and then obviously some of the Saga Legends figures are repacks
Yep.
into
Definitely.
the Rebels packaging line look. So
It's quite a lot of figures to release or have leaked in some way that they didn't want to. So pretty
yeah,
surprising. Yeah.
yeah, it was kind of refreshing actually to see a nice actual list like this. We've kind of dealt with list dumps back in 2013. Jedi Defender had that big reveal that they scoured out of the Hasbro
That's right. That's
customer
right.
service thing. And that was a mix of canceled, delayed,
That's right.
and new stuff. So this is obviously intended product that's gonna be released at retail.
And
Um,
it's a Star Wars exclusive. It's not an Entertainment Weekly or USA Today
right,
exclusive. There you
right,
go.
as it should be.
As
Um,
it should be.
yeah, that's where I want to read about toy news is on sites that talk about toys. I don't want to have to go elsewhere to,
Do
you know, even if it was StarWars.com, it would be obviously it'd make more sense.
make more sense. Yeah, exactly.
Um, and then one more thing that was on that list, they showed a vehicle there.
That's right. I'll
There's
just go with that.
the Callus TIE Advanced prototype, and essentially it is a cross between Darth Vader's TIE fighter and the Sith infiltrator of Darth Maul. The wings kind of collapse, fold up, um, and obviously this is a lead into what the Vader TIE fighter would be
Yep.
that we all know from A New Hope.
Yep. And that was not, or that was the one that was shown at Toy Fair.
I think they showed the straight, the
So
regular
they,
TIE fighter,
that's
but
right. That's right.
they had the wrong name on the box. I think obviously it was a
That's right.
prototype box folded up for Toy Fair. So this
That's right.
is this is the
And
real deal.
the other picture there was just the Ezra, very Obi-Wan like, sorry, Stormtrooper like mask they've
Hmm.
got there, and these command figures as
Yep.
well. Actually, yeah, but meh on them, but
Yeah.
good figures and good vehicles. Nice.
Yeah. So if you're looking for kind of a breakdown of what the figures are, definitely you could go to Yakface.com and click on the toy guide and go to the panel. It's last row on the toy guide page that is the Rebels quote unquote section, and that will spell out everything that was shown on that list. Because the we'll just say that the figures, or at least the characters shown on this poster that we have seen, it's not the figure representation. It's uh, basically stock artwork for for the character. So yeah,
These are very
it's got
useful, actually. These are
yeah,
good to complete your list in your collection. Definitely a good way of doing it.
yeah. Okay, moving on. There was another bit of large literally large toy news that came out just yesterday. We had known about this since Toy Fair again. Jabba the Hutt being exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con, at least a particular version. We know we're getting one at retail packed alongside the Biker Scout with Speeder Bike. Um, that's going to retail for $40, the general release version. While we don't know what the price of the exclusive version is, it does come with some extras, obviously exclusive packaging, much like the Boba Fett from CDC last year. But this has the updated packaging look that is going to carry over in late 2014. It's going to be the blue and black line look and not the blue and orange that we've been accustomed to for the Black Series. And we finally get some official details as to what is included in that set. And it's the Jabba the Hutt, it's the figure itself, Salacious Crumb figure, and the not the bar, but the pipe bowl bar railing type thing that curves around behind him. That's it for the accessories. It comes in a box that's set to look like his throne room, and he's sitting on a cardboard dais. So there was
nice
some
background.
Yeah, it's a nice package, and it's meant to accept, or at least it leaves room to display the Hunting Carbonite that was part of last year's Boba Fett exclusive. So they're trying to make it a nice complete package, but I think people are more pissed than than happy for a couple of different reasons. A, having an exclusive figure like Salacious Crumb again. He was exclusive in the vintage Death Star set, and then obviously the other accessories, and then you're paying whatever. I'm just going to throw that. I'm saying this is probably going to be a $60 exclusive.
I would think so. The
at
size.
Least. And it's a nice presentation. I'll give them that. It's kind of it opens up kind of like a, I don't know. It kind of reminds me of some sort of doctor bag or something, where it kind of old timey deal where flap opens up in the front, and the front flap is kind of nice. It's meant to represent the huge gate that comes down, and so that kind of accordion's open to reveal the inner display.
No, and I agree with you. You're saying the $60. I think you're right. Absolutely spot on what it'll cost. I think the only problem will then be is the price for scalpers is going to be. It was bad enough when Boba was 40 before, and he was at least at 180. I remember talking to Tamer when it came out, and we were saying, look at these scalpers on eBay, and he still goes for about $300 on eBay. So this thing's going to be expensive.
Yep, and I've heard more often than not that people are going to just pass on this. Just because it's not worth the headache of trying to track this down, whether you spend the week and a half after Toy Fair, or San Diego gets over, refreshing the Hasbro Toy Shop page, hoping that it pops up there and actually be able to order it. I think people are getting progressively more and more tired of stuff like this.
Yeah, even if it was just a Salacious Crumb in a little baggie done to be like a kind of vintage box or something, that would have been small enough, it would have been easy enough. I mean, this box is designed to basically be torn and ripped. Those gate features that are coming down, they're going to catch on stuff, and that's going to be hellish to get home, and it's a big box. It's a big-ass box.
I would assume that it's kind of like similar to how Sideshow does their stuff, maybe a magnetic closure type of deal.
Probably, you're right, yeah.
So there's going to be some costs involved in producing just the packaging to put this thing together.
And even quite hellish to display, because with the looks of it, the back of the box is just as key as the back behind Jabba to actually lay it out. So you're going to have to put the flap flat.
Right.
Otherwise, you tuck it under. It's going to be messy. It's going to be weird.
Yeah.
So,
it's obviously it's what San Diego Comic-Con is all about. It's about ridiculous exclusives and paying way too much for something you will find later with just a couple extras. I've never gone to a San Diego Comic-Con because of how tough it is to actually go. I mean, the hoops you have to jump through to attend, as far as getting your tickets, or and then the hotel stuff is just as
Crazy, yeah.
essentially traumatic as trying to get the tickets to even be able to go. Um, and then the exclusives that you have to either stand in line and wait for, or fight for.
Yeah,
You spend half your time in lines. I see absolutely zero appeal in that. So,
I have to agree with you. I have to agree.
like with past exclusives, I'll
You know,
stock side or Hasbro Toy Shop, and you know Hasbro has done really great by fan sites. As in past years, they've sent the actual exclusive to sites like mine, or Jedi Temple Archives, Rebel Scum.
yep.
Basically as a thank you. I would hope that's what they consider it. I don't know. Um,
Fingers
yeah,
crossed.
so maybe we'll get one. I'm
Fingers
I'm
crossed.
I'm optimistic.
Well, I mean, I think it's one of those things as well. The price of these tends to be incredibly high at first. After the show and just for a period thereafter, it maintains it, but then it does dip down a little bit when there's less demand. So
Right.
that's the time to buy it. And if you look hard enough, you can get a hand in carbonite relatively easily, but you've
Right.
just got to wait and bid amongst the sharks. But it does save you the cost of the hotel, the flight, the
Right.
hassle. So you've got to factor that into the price.
Yep.
So it's maybe worth spending if you really want it that little bit more. Maybe you got to spend 100, $120, but you've saved a hotel, saved flight and time. So
Right. And it's comparable to what we go through on a day-to-day basis as
yeah,
collectors. Can you go from store to store hunting down one particular figure you're looking for, or order a case online and you know have the whole bird in the hand type of analogy. Um,
I
if, if
know.
if you could get in and are able to order through Hasbro Toy Shop, I would condone doing that, and not obviously paying scalper or eBay prices if you can help
Let's
it.
hope they just don't allow the 10 as they did for the stormtroopers in the beginning and just let everybody scalp them as well, which is never good. But yeah, so
Moving on then.
yes, Sideshow.
Sideshow. Jeez. I don't know who they think their market is, but it's apparently people with a lot of
Donald
disposable
Trump.
income, or people that are looking to get a divorce. I don't know. Um,
Yeah, no, it's kind of nuts.
Sideshow, they revealed first off this week their life-size Boba Fett. I can't say
Yeah.
it's not a great-looking piece. It looks like Boba Fett right from The Empire Strikes Back, sitting or standing in your living room.
We'll get photos in just a second. It seems to have crashed on me there. Well, yeah, the price. Let's talk about the price first of
Yeah,
all. Seven and a
75.
half
Yeah,
thousand dollars. Oh, that's
yeah.
expensive.
You could almost buy
Um,
your own cosplay outfit for that.
you could,
you,
you
you could buy a couple, I would hope.
You could fly Jeremy Bulloch out and get him to hang out with you
I
for the
bet you
day. I'm
could.
sure for 7.5 grand. It's like that's a lot of money. Beautiful looking piece though, absolutely beautiful. Just sharing some pictures online for people
Yep.
to see. I think there's a few working lights on it as well, as you'd expect for seven and
Yep.
a half thousand dollars. Head articulation, adjustable rangefinder,
Yeah, it looks great. I mean,
stunning.
uh, not for me though.
I know, I know. I tried my best. I pleaded with Sideshow on Twitter this week and just said, "You sure you don't want me to review this for you?" Like,
Yeah.
just in
And,
case, on the off chance, I'll be happy to do so.
and they do have a flex pay option available for only $650 a month for you know
I
6 months
know.
or whatever it is. I can't remember what the terms are. Um, Obviously, it's more than that for that
But
price, but
as we've said, it's the companion piece to the Hanon Carbonite, which was 6.5 grand.
right.
Um, and for the next one that we're about to show, I guess probably just makes sense. We'll show the Yoda in just a sec.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, an expensive bunch to pay for. That's for sure.
Yep.
Let's take a look at Yoda just for those that haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
Now this one is a bit more in my wheelhouse of consideration. Um, it's granted, again, it's like what is it, $2,500.
25, yeah.
Um,
beautiful looking piece. Well
it looks
sculpted.
great. It's not a prequel Yoda. It's an original trilogy Yoda. It's if you're willing to go the flex pay route, it's about 225 or 250 a month until what is it, December, I think. But still, it's a great looking piece. I'm a Yoda. I have a Yoda focused collection outside of all the other garbage I pick up. And I've got, like I've mentioned on past shows, I've got a blockbuster Yoda from Episode 1, and I never picked up, like, I think, what, Icons, I think they had a Yoda years and years ago. But, yeah, this one would be the ultimate one to get if I were to pick, and we're really committed to getting one. But, yeah, again, $2,500.
I know. It's a beautiful piece. There's a couple of little shots here we're just sharing again if you're watching the video podcast. This is unusual. A little EU, I guess. A little.
Yeah, it's like, is that
Yoda
canon
bug.
now?
I don't know. It's weird. But the detail there, I just thought his nails look like real nails.
Yeah, they're
Just
translucent, kind of.
beautiful. Well, no,
cool.
the nails are beautiful. You know what I mean. But the wood, it's you're going to get your money's worth. I think is what we're saying. You're not getting a Saga Legends Yoda here with little Wookiee catapult thing yet again. It's
It's
nice.
It's a premium piece, and they've done their best to make a great product. So, the next thing they revealed, I guess, actually the thing prior to the Yoda reveal was the 1/6 scale Jango Fett.
That's right, and I cannot wait to get this.
I know.
Fantastic.
It is very cool. I mentioned on a previous show that I was on that I have the Metacom version, which is nice in its own regard. I don't think it was as expensive as this one was, though. But still, it was a nice piece, a little bit underscaled, but Metacom runs a different scale slightly than Sideshow does for their 12-inch figures. But man, this one blows that one even out of the water. I mean, Hasbro put out a great one, like a deluxe one.
Yeah. I had that for years.
And that was great. That was loaded with accessories and articulation and whatnot. But geez, this one is quite the
It's
quite
out
the
the
release.
park. I mean, that Hasbro one was $25. I remember paying for it.
Yeah, $25.
So $25. 100 times that now is the price for this.
Yep, $219. I love it. I think it's one of the cooler 1/6 scale figures that have come out.
It does.
Right.
And we were both saying on a previous show just how, or I was saying it certainly that I thought that Sideshow could have done two versions of this quite easily. One with the different backpack. And maybe his head coming off. That could have been one version, or one with a poncho and one with a. So they really could have milked it, but instead we are getting, complete ultimate Fett. You're getting everything. These little smoke attachments and blasters, which is new for Sideshow. The jetpack flame attachments. This is really Sideshow.
Yeah, I love that they include all of these extra accessories. Typically you get all of the extra hands and feet and whatnot. But I like the base that comes with it as well. And
nice
that you get both jetpacks. I like that.
Very nice indeed.
There's one accessory that I think it is missing, or two accessories. It doesn't have, even though it includes the poncho, it doesn't include those razor things that attach to his gauntlets.
That's right.
That he
right. And no Camino Dart.
Camino Dart,
see. Unless it's plugged into his little. Yeah, you're right. That's a good point. Doesn't appear there.
Yeah.
There you go. Typical you spotting all the little things these companies are doing wrong. They should be hiring you.
Again, I'd still consider it a worthy purchase. So, typically the clones anyway, they're like 100 and what are they? 180 for those, or are they a little bit less? 150?
It depends on which one. I mean, you can get Rex and Cody. I think they were 180.
Right.
More
Rex and Cody are pretty specialized clones. They're not just your repaint of the standard Phase 2 buck or whatever. So for a little bit more, for $40 more, you're getting, I think, a lot more value for your $40. There's a lot of unique parts and accessories here. So
Exactly.
let's see.
So R2, I think, is the only one we've not yet.
Right, that one hasn't officially gone up yet.
Well, I've managed to find a picture.
Yeah, I did see that.
Not that it tells you much, but I'll just try and share it, and at least people have seen. We've seen the video, which I think shows you more than anything.
The video is great.
But we'll share the picture. It's just if I found it on a weird site in Europe, I just happened to search for it to see whether it was up after we'd get Django a little early, and let's share it on there. Yeah, so you don't get to see a great deal. It's one of the product shots of them, which I'm sure we'll have like 20 or something by the time we get finished. But
right.
It's an essential piece, this thing, when you see in the video. I think we shared that in the last Realm recap.
Yeah.
So
there was a teaser. I don't know if we showed the video. Maybe we did.
Did we?
But yeah, it's a must-have for a 6th scale collector or a fan of original trilogy stuff. And again, this is all part of the May the 4th reveal that they're doing over the past few days at Sideshow, and I know what the next two are.
Okay.
And I'll say I know what the characters that they're going to be revealing. I don't know in what format, but doing a little bit of hunting and pecking around the code on their site, I found images of each of these. I don't know if I think they're renderings of some sort. One is they're really small, so I don't know if it'd be worth sharing the image. But one is another Boba Fett. I think it's Boba Fett. It may be a Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. Maybe. Don't hold me to it. But the color on his outfit looks to fit that bill. And then there's some Darth Vader that's coming. And I don't know what this is. I will have to send you the images later. If I share my screen, maybe I'll just try to do this. I'm gonna do this. We're
doing it live. We're doing the bill live.
We're gonna try. We'll see what.
Whatever.
Crap. Just one moment. Bear with me.
No, that's all right. Well, I'll try and get this video.
Find some stuff here. Open. Okay.
While you're looking for that, I'll share quickly the little video of R2 for those that haven't seen it. If they didn't watch, and there's a little sequence of there. Beautiful. So you're getting the Jabba. You're getting an ultimate R2. You're getting the bar 2D2 with
I love that.
Yeah, I know. All the lights as well. I love that. The little flaps open up. It's always about the flaps.
Yeah, those are magnetic doors too. So you need a little tool to open them up. You can see that in the video that he's using a little tool to pop his doors there.
That's something else as well I didn't realize is there's a little snapshot there. I think that they're maybe plugging another Sideshow set. The little Princess Leia table there as well. I never thought.
Yeah, I think that's included.
Wow. That's not like a previous release. I'm thinking of the 3 3/4 one. That's what I'm thinking of.
I think we're going to get that too.
Wow.
Let's see.
It's got to be stunning.
Let me hide this. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Share this. Can you see that little preview there?
Oh, yeah.
He's got the orange shoulders and the red gauntlets.
Which is Return of the Jedi, yeah.
Right.
How did you find that, you sneaky bugger? Fantastic.
And then I'll quick flip to another window here. It's a Vader of some sort. If you're seeing that.
Can you maximize the image a bit more?
That's as large as it is.
Oh, really? Okay.
I could blow it up here and it's just going to get worse, but I don't know what this is.
Interesting.
This was kind of hidden in the code of their site. I find myself doing in the wee hours when sites try to tease upcoming product. I say, well, screw that. I'm going to see if I could.
Very good. There you go. You heard it here first, folks. None of this exclusive entertainment weekly nonsense. It's here on the Realm Recap.
We'll see. So maybe it'll pan out. Maybe it won't. Maybe they're throwing. I mean, the images are labeled May 4 reveal 05, May 4
Oh,
reveal,
well, there you go.
06. I mean, so
Yeah,
we'll
that's
see what they are. I don't think they're up there now, being as they're a California company and it's 11:38 here. So
yeah.
tomorrow in the wee hours again, probably, like some of these other ones have come up.
Well, we know. I mean, revealed May 4th is R2, obviously. So you're right. I mean, they could be
Right.
slotting in quite nicely into that. So we get to see all three tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow, expensive week.
Right.
Expensive week.
Again, kind of dealing with more on the May the 4th kind of festivities that have gone on the past couple days. Lego, obviously, they came out with their Ultimate Collectors Series Sandcrawler today.
Mm.
A very cool piece for $300. It's nice. It includes all those figures, which is, what is it, 13 or 15 figures that it comes with.
That's quite a lot, yeah.
But yeah.
Nice little review here at FBTB.
Yep, I posted a review over at from Bricks to Bobbins, which they do a great job of giving scoops and reviews and reveals on Lego Star Wars product.
Check that out, the little
little
dragon with 3PO. That's beautiful.
Yep. He said it was a nice piece, but a grueling build because of the repetition in building the treads that go on the bottom.
Well, if you've ever had a Lego Death Star, you'll know what we mean by repetition. It's the most. Yeah. Oh, it's such a hard build. It's great fun, but the building, the structure,
yep,
not great. But,
so it's nice. I don't know if I would I don't know if that's where I would jump in on if I was looking to get into Lego. There are obviously cheaper ways to go about that, but it's a nice piece, and if maybe you're a focus collector on the Ultimate Collector series, this would be a great addition to those releases. So
some great looking minifigures. We've seen some of them before, but you could make some of these, I think, as we discussed in one show. But some nice little pieces. Really thorough review there. Very, very well done, FBTB. Yep.
Let's see, what else? Toys R Us today had a little May the 4th, 3rd kind of celebration deal where they invite, kids. It's more of a kid-targeted event where you build a little mini X-Wing and TIE Fighter set. I have them handy here.
Just as well, because the website's, they've pulled the event down, so obviously it's ended, so... Not much to share with you folks, so Jason's going to show you the figures. This was a little X-Wing and fighter that you shared on your Yakface.com the other day. Yes?
Right. Essentially, when you go there, you get a couple little poly bags. They're Ziploc bags filled with the pieces that you need to build each vehicle. This is the... I think they mix them up, actually. It's not one... Oh, no. Actually, I have two sets here. So one bag is one X-Wing and one TIE Fighter. I got two sets because I brought my two girls. And you get a set of printed directions right from Lego. These are official Lego pieces. And
that's actually been released before that X-Wing.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, I've got that. It's been a little poly bag.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, tell a lie. It was from that one has.
Was it in like one of the holiday sets?
It was the holiday set. That's what it was. I'm sure it was. I've had that little X-Wing, and that's one that looks very similar to the original poly bag. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still nice.
It's really tiny. I mean, it's 12 pieces. I mean, obviously you can imagine how big that is.
It's tiny,
but
nice.
It's a fun little deal, and me being into the polybag stuff, not so much the actual large sets. I did pick up and had started to assemble the Microfighter X-Wing. I don't know. Lego's really drawn me in lately, especially with their... I'm going to break from Star Wars talk here. With the Simpsons figures that have come out starting May 1st. Jeez, talk about crack.
I know.
Um,
I caved as well after we spoke last week and bought the entire set for about $70.
yeah,
Um,
I've done really well. This sounds so awful. I've got the bag feeling thing down for this line. Um, I think I've purchased 16. No, let's see. They're all right here. Let's say I've purchased 16 and I only have duplicates of one, and I'm only missing one. Um, I need Millhouse. So
I'm
that's
sure you'll
that.
get them.
Let's
Well,
see.
I think it's wise to. I mean, you either buy the blind bags or buy the set as I do. Don't. Yeah, trying to buy them. It's people want like $10 for some of these.
I know.
It's like, come on, it's just crazy. So
So
shop around, shop
yeah.
around.
So and then I also noticed when I was at Toys R Us today for that Lego build that they have started putting out the poly bags um, that were revealed not too long ago.
Hmm.
This one happens to be the Anakin Jedi Interceptor from Revenge of the Sith, the green one he takes to Mustafar. Um, I think the other two in this line were the Imperial Shuttle and what was the other one? Like a Z95 or was it a
That's right. That's right.
Mark
That's right.
170, something like that. One of those
Which I still
familiar.
don't think they've been released in the States yet. Those are the ones
I
we
haven't
got.
seen the other. I haven't
Yeah, I
seen the
don't
other
think they've
two.
been released.
So
They're just as a little headline for anyone in the UK watching. There's a promotion starting this week in the UK. I think it's the Daily Mail, which is giving away Lego, and one of them is the Z95, which again I think it's not been made in North America
hmm,
yet before. So yeah, if you're looking for it, that's a cheap place to get it.
yeah,
If you can.
I'll have to look that one up actually. The Z95. Let's see. What else happened this week? I think there was some other.
Vans is the next thing on our list to share, which you posted. So let's see, where we
Yeah,
get this.
this is people know Vans. They're a clothing, typically associated with
Yep.
shoes. Um, they're getting in on the whole Star Wars hype, and they're producing Star Wars shoes and other clothing bags, whatnot, that have Star Wars prints. I could care less, to be honest. I'm not gonna have Darth Vader shoes or anything, but it's
For a lot of kids, I see a lot of people, like kids in Australia, wear these kind of plimsoll shoes, which frankly, kids, they were out in the '80s and we all wore them then. So,
mm-hmm.
yeah, but they
Yep.
love them. But these
So
will not be cheap.
yeah,
License plus Vans equals, I don't know, 60, $70, if not more.
probably at least.
Ooh, ay, ay, ay.
Let's see. Hallmark. We had talked about this a couple weeks ago. Their Itty Bitties line, which are little
Yeah.
plush characters, original trilogy. They've kind of launched things off with from A New Hope. They revealed their collector's set, which is from A New Hope. I believe you get 4 figures in that, and then 2 are available for purchase outside of the set. There is a Luke, a C-3PO, a Jawa, and Obi-Wan in the box set that you could buy, and
Hmm.
that's for like $30 here in the U.S. That's available in September at most stores, I believe. I don't think it was reserved for only Gold Crown. I'd have to research
But
that a little bit further.
it's just Hallmark stores, isn't it? No.
Right, I think so. I think that's how I understood it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Darth Vader and R2D2 are able to be purchased separately. Those are $6.95 each. So
That's just some mock-ups there, I guess they've got.
yeah,
But
little
May the 4th
plushies.
special at Hallmark.com. So use your promo code May4 to get 20% off.
Yep, and they're also
Very
doing
cool.
a contest um, where you get to win a set of these characters or some ornaments, or they obviously Hallmark, they produce a ton of Star Wars merchandise, whether it be party decoration type things or desk little tchotchke type
Yep.
collectibles. They're going to be giving some of that away, so you can see details of that on the Yakface.com site. Just search for Hallmark Itty Bitties, and you'll probably run across the post. It was posted on May 1st, so That'll help find that.
Hmm.
Let's see.
You'd mentioned Star Wars Vinylmation, but we didn't really have any links or any information for it. But
Right, I do have a link on Star Wars or on Yakface.com now.
Okay. Let me just we'll call it up.
That was on the second. Vinylmation Series 4 has been revealed. It had leaked out, I think, a few months back, but this is the official rollout of
Oh, right,
these.
okay. So,
In the set, you get for people not familiar with Vinylmation, they are basically little mini mug type figures with Mickey Mouse ears. They're Mickey Mouse
yeah.
sculpts, and they're repainted in various characters. They do the various Disney properties from the Toy Story and Monsters Inc. and whatnot. But Star Wars is also a part of this line, and they're on Series 4 now. And in this set, there are packed blind box, so you don't know what you're getting. And
Unless
typically,
you fill the bags like you.
right?
Or the boxes, so you can really, can you?
Yeah. So they have revealed that there's a Luke Skywalker Hoth, Han Solo Hoth, R2D2 Dagobah, which is basically the R2D2 that they've had before, but he's all grunged up. And Princess Leia Bespin outfit.
The Ugnaughts a weird choice, isn't it?
Yeah. Obviously, this is a Empire Strikes Back set.
Yeah, true.
Bosk, Forlom, Zuckuss, Snowtrooper, Dengar, and Tauntaun, which is kind of neat, actually.
I really like these, but I almost want to break the ears off.
I know.
I look at them and I think, look at the Stormtrooper, the Snowtrooper, and I just think, awesome, but the ears, it just doesn't do it for me. This is great. Because it means I don't have to collect them.
Right.
But you getting bitten by this bug, do you think?
I only have one. I've got a Yoda one.
Okay.
And they do, at times, they have exclusive, and in this case, there is a chase, they call it Chaser, and it's been speculated that it's going to be IG-88 because that was the only bounty hunter not listed, and I think they've had Boba Fett before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it totally makes sense. And then, as I was going to say, they have exclusives of different sizes in this line on occasion.
Oh, wow.
I think for Disney weekends, they had a Rancor, which was like 9 inches tall or something like that. They came with a Rancor Keeper, regular size Vinylmation. So they do vary up the scale for certain releases. So.
Just going back very quickly on the previous story, we were just talking about Lego before we went on to Vinylmation there. So just to confirm the offer by our friends at Brickset.com, if you're lucky enough to be in the UK, the ones they're giving away, it's the Imperial Shuttle, which I think you just got, Jason. And it was indeed the ARC 170 Starfighter. That's the one which, again, I think they'd mentioned there. Yeah, the ARC 170 is the rarest of them. I don't think it's available in North America or Europe yet. So, yeah, you can only buy it at certain places. So, yeah, grab it. You got them all now, haven't you? You've managed to get all of them?
Yeah, I think I'm missing the one. The
ARC 170?
The ARC 170. I think so. Damn, I'd have to find my pile. I don't have it handy.
Well, let me know, because I'm sure I've got one, so we'll maybe have to sort that out. But I'm sure I've got one.
Let's see. Tomorrow officially kicks off the Disney Store merchandise. Last week we had talked about my visit out to California, where they showed off their upcoming product for this year. But officially it kicks off tomorrow with the 12-inch Stormtrooper, or I think it's 13 inches, but that's neither here nor there. Then they have some other offerings as well. Some plush stuff, obviously the costumes, and then the regular licensed merchandise that they carry, stuff from Hasbro. They have dedicated pegs for Hasbro Black Series figures there as well. I believe there is a May the 4th pin that you can get if you show up at opening. I'm not going to go through the hassle of trying to dress 4 kids under the age of 4. Tried to take him to the Mall of America, which is the busiest mall around here, and try to get in there and fight off the Frozen people that are trying to get in for the Frozen merchandise.
Yeah.
So we'll pass on that for now. Maybe I'll go back Monday and pick up a few things. I'm eagerly anticipating picking up some of those, the 12-inch scale line. So we'll see how that goes.
Good to see them. Next on the list was just a little thing I had just shared after you'd reminded me of this company years ago. I had seen them before, but I had forgotten the Max replicas. We showed it last week. We showed this most amazing TIE fighter on the Last Realm recap.
Right.
But if you haven't seen it, go to their website. Just as I've said, they're pure toy porn. They've basically taken the Hasbro vehicle and just added gorgeous diorama, lights into this thing as well. Definitely check it out. Max Replicas, we've put it in the show notes as well. Just amazing work they do. It's just, that's the kind of stuff I could look at all day. It just absolutely absorbs my time, as it did last week after we finished. I think I spent about an hour and a half on the Max Replicas site, so it's that good. So definitely check it out.
Let's see. Imperial Shipyards, they had posted a bunch of customs this week. One that caught my attention in particular was an Imperial 21B medical droid, and that was made by a customizer named I Am Boba Fett, which kind of piqued your interest probably, and mine, considering where We Love Fine Darth Vader or Boba Fett T-shirt today.
Yes, I know. Yeah, it's true. You're rocking that. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a cool figure. I like it. It seems to be very in universe. Not something that wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility.
I think I'm seeing a little bit of IG-88's.
Yep, his weapon there.
Weapon there, and it's nice. It's a female 21B.
Well, it could be. I don't know if you remember some of the concept art for 21B back. I don't know if it was strictly for The Empire Strikes Back, or maybe it carried over into Return of the Jedi, but there were images of like a skirted version of 21B.
Ah, okay. Didn't know that.
That's what that kind of reminded me of.
Nice.
And being an Imperial version,
the
person added a magnet to access the inner workings there, and added a nice little LED red glowing light that shines through the transparent midsection there, and looks great.
The time you guys out there, customizers, you awesome people have, I'm so jealous. So jelly. Oh, fantastic.
If only I had more.
Well, I know. If only I could have a clone that could do this stuff. You posted some other stuff as well on this here. I'm not seeing any images on this other link.
Yeah, you might have to go to Imperial Shipyard's front page to see it. I noticed later that the links weren't working in the actual forum, but we had spoken about this custom a couple weeks back. It was the Mos Eisley custom diorama street scene from Campos. I think you had brought that one to the show again like a couple weeks ago. He had finished it and had posted a few final products or final shots over there at Imperial Shipyard. So
okay, there's some great stuff there. I can't see it there.
It must be.
The guys have published already.
It might have been buried in all the news that has come out this week.
Yeah, well, it's been a busy week, that's for sure. But well, check them out. They'll get some great stuff. It's on the site anyway.
Plenty of others.
Cool customs and stuff, and gorgeous dioramas and more customs and. Very good. Very good.
So that wraps up the collecting, toy, and unobtainable merchandise this week.
Yeah.
Moving on to TV.
The divorce section is over.
Yeah. Moving on to TV, movie, and book news. A little bit of news dropped this week.
Just a little.
The partial cast for Episode 7 has been revealed. That was posted on April 29th, and it confirms the return of most of the original cast. There's a few conspicuous absences there, but it is essentially Han, Luke, Leia, R2-D2, and some new people. A lot of them, to be honest, never heard of, never seen anything they've ever been in, and that's completely fine by me. I don't want to go in there with a preconceived notion of actors that I've seen in other stuff,
Yep,
and I think this is right where the casting needed to go. Um,
definitely.
it made seeing this photo made the next sequel trilogy all that more real. It's like
I
you
know,
can
I
talk
know.
about all the, oh, they're making 3 more movies. Oh yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Or, oh, it's going to come out in December, or it's going to come out in May. Or no, it's actually been now officially revealed that it'll be December of 2015, and now
I
we
know.
see an actual cast photo, and they promise that this isn't quite the full cast, obviously, of the film, but a lot of big names there and some new ones,
Exactly.
and
And
it's
Anthony
exciting.
Daniels. It is. Anthony Daniels was tweeting out this week, just teasing everybody how much fun it was to be reading the script for episode 7, and just think of those words again. Reading the script for episode 7.
It must be
He
surreal
knows.
for them,
Oh my God. It must be surreal. I mean, how long? I mean, Anthony Daniels has been in and out of every project under the sun with Star Wars. He's been pretty much continuous, I think, probably if not more than anybody.
Right?
But particularly Mark Harrison and Carrie, just to have them back.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, literally, you could wheel them out on the screen and they could just say a few lines, and I think fans would still be happy.
Right.
Um,
And again, with some of that, the information that had come out the week prior about the expanded universe kind of being rebooted as far as the stuff after Return of the Jedi, you know, we don't know if Han and Leia are married in the new movie. We don't know if they actually have a kid or two. Um, it's so new. It's exciting.
exactly. You saved us again on the next story with some high resolution images. Thank goodness, because
Right.
EST today posted horrifically small images.
Right.
I hate these websites get exclusives and they post postage stamps, I think, to save on bandwidth,
Yep.
which was just criminal, I think, for Star Wars fans. But you
Yeah.
shared some
So
high res ones.
yeah, Star Wars Rebels. There was a teaser trailer that came out on the second, and
We'll pull that up here.
it looked quite nice actually. Even for a teaser, the full blown one comes out tomorrow. Um, actually, it comes out at,
Uh,
I think, didn't they say that it would come out at midnight, maybe on StarWars.com?
we'll have a look in just a second. I just thought what we could talk about very quickly was the Wookiees in
Right.
Chains.
Yep.
Just if I share that just there with everybody.
Yeah.
And again, the link will be in the show notes. But they're behind Wookiees in Chains,
Mm-hmm.
Wookiee Bondage, and great looking stormtroopers. Look at the detail and the lighting on these guys.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be
Oh,
a great looking show. I have no doubt that it's going to be great to watch. Whether their stories will, kind of reinforce the look of the series. But again, with the trailer and stuff that had just come out, it looks to be really good.
it does. We'll try and play the mini teaser trailer, which is gorgeous beyond belief. If we can get that to work here. And there we go. There's a little preview. We'll start that off. And again, there'll be links in the show notes if you want to watch it afterwards. You're listening and you can't watch it. And we'll call up StarWars.com as well just to see if we can get. Is this the full? Jason, the full trailer is up, I think. Oh no, preview. Damn it, still the preview. That's D23. We don't want that. I think we've lost your audio, buddy. You're on mute.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you're back.
Back. Sorry.
That's all right. So I was just saying that oh, you heard me. There we go. There's the trailer just now. Let me just play this again. Just give a little bit of buffer for people if you want to see it, and we'll talk through it. But it just looks stunning. I still have a problem with Chopper's audio. He sounds like a kind of drunk. This is like, what? Is that the best you could do? Genius Ben Burt involved, and anyway. So here we go. Here's the trailer. We get a shot of this troopers just shiny as all hell. Sabine destroying TIE fighters somewhere. Hera and some explosions, and that's it. That's all we get.
Yep.
But full trailer tomorrow, and
I'm excited.
and Yoda Chronicles 2 for if you've got XD.
Right. Yep.
Or,
I'll try to catch that sometime tomorrow.
but yeah, no other trailer as yet, as of the time we've got. But looks good. Just the quality looks amazing. Just really
Yeah.
impressed with the animation, actually. Um, Next was you again. This was the game, the
Right.
episode one
Um,
Journeys game.
yeah,
Just
I
share a sec.
had a opportunity to preview this game when I was in California. They passed out iPads to everyone, um, much to the chagrin of people that were Android and other platform fans. The Journeys game is it's not really a game per se. It is kind of like a digital
RPG.
digital storybook of it walks you through the entire events of episode one. Um, it reads along the story. It kind of reminds me of the old cassette read along books that you had when you were a kid. Um, but all of the artwork for this game, quote unquote, is all new. There's nothing copy and pasted from footage from episode one. It's all original artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the purpose of it is you go through the story, you can click on characters or vehicles or locations, and you essentially collect these little character vehicle profiles, and you try to collect all. I think there are 35 that there are. It's very simple. It is geared towards kids. So um,
Hey, it's
that
Star Wars.
right, and it's intended to help immerse a new generation of fans to Star Wars, and they started off with episode one because they want to build up through the prequel trilogy, original trilogy, and then have a release for episode seven.
Makes
Um,
sense.
yeah, and the game, the storybook, whatever you want to call it, the media app, um,
Hmm.
has some cool features. You can pan 180 degrees with the iPad or whatever iPhone, um, iPod Touch. You can let's say you're looking at um, whatever an image on the screen. If you pan to the
Hmm.
left or the right, you will pan through the image in either
Yeah.
direction.
So
So
so they
it's
call it.
expandable as far as what your viewing range is, and there are things going on outside of your field of view when you're looking at it. So it's a very interesting and a unique approach to a Star Wars
Definitely.
deal.
I
So
think it was $6.99. Was that the
yes,
price?
yeah, 6.99. I mean, that seems steep for an app, and you don't really do anything. I mean, there's no like in-app purchases. There are no. Um, it's not expandable, or it's it. Like I said, I mentioned it. It seems a little pricey for what it actually is. Um, but then again, it's kind of like a family deal, I think. So
Yeah.
we're looking to get a little bit more use out of it in that regard.
And
And
as you said, it's a young reader thing, so
right,
it may be slightly educational, I guess, in parts
right,
and kind of.
right, because you're collecting characters and you're getting a history of
Yeah.
characters and vehicles and whatnot. And another dimension to the game is you could do the pod race, where you could do like a tournament, or a wipeout type of thing where you try to knock everyone off course, or championship kind of deal. And it's doing the Boot to Eve race, and it's you could pilot your pod. You could choose Anakin's pod or one of 5 or 6 others, and you could also build a custom one as well. Um, and then you do the race, and you could either steer it with the iPad, whether you could use the accelerometer feature of the game and
Hmm. Hmm.
tilt, pan left, right, the actual iPad device in order to steer your pod, or you could do it just by touch controls. Um, it's neat. It's fun. It's hard. It's hard for me because I'm older and I don't game a lot. Um, for a kid that is used to playing stuff like that, I would assume it's like breathing. So
Yeah, no, I know. And as you said, it's one of many games to come.
Right.
So, certainly but my interest will be piqued when it comes to Attack of the Clones. I think that'll be much more interesting to see what that'll be like, and a little bit darker and a little bit more familiar, I think, to some of the Clone Wars and other kind of storylines. So,
Right.
yeah,
And if you want to see a video of it, you could go to our YouTube channel, and there's a trailer.
sure. I just played that for those that are watching on the video, so you've maybe seen a little bit there.
You'll
Uh,
see a little bit of that gameplay. So that kind of wraps things up for the week, other than what we have actually spent our hard-earned, or
Cashito Zone, yeah.
yeah.
You've been busy
Um,
again, spending.
I know. Um, like I mentioned, I've been kind of delving more and more into Lego stuff lately. Um, the Simpsons figures, obviously, I talked about.
Mhm.
I picked up the Lego Star Wars Visual Dictionary, which came out. What day was that? Was that yesterday?
I think it was.
Yeah, very cool book. It has every single set in it that has been released so far. I have it right
Is it
here. It's
is that your first Lego Visual Dictionary? Have you
it
bought one
is,
before?
and
Ah, because there's been a few.
there has been a few, and I like this one just for the fact that it's obviously the most up to date,
Sure.
and it includes an exclusive minifigure, which is a reproduction of Luke from the first Luke figure that had ever come out in the Lego line. He was included with Landspeeder, a small, probably $12 set back in 1999, I believe.
Mm.
So that was kind of fun. I don't think I'll take him out of the little tray that he's encased in and inside the book itself, but
It,
the
it's a
information the information inside is just so all encompassing, and I'll, for people that are watching the podcast online, it's very visual dictionary like, like how the DK books all are,
mm,
um, whether from the movies. It starts off with there's an index, and then it goes through from the beginning,
all the sets, yeah.
all of the sets. There's a boxed or bagged representation of each set that has come out since the beginning, and then it
Nice.
kind of kicks off. It kind of divides things out with prequel and Clone Wars, and then it has an original trilogy section. Um, it's it's very well done.
I was going to buy it myself, but I just one the minifigure was what a wasted opportunity for not having a Boba Fett on there, considering he was on the cover.
Right.
But I just the yellow minifigure was a real turn off, and having the other or last version kicking around somewhere, I think I actually get rid of it now.
Mm.
Um, they're very similar, so you're only talking. I think it was only a year and a half ago the last
Right.
version of this came out. So
So this book has like the planet sets, the recent microfighters, and the most recent the Lego Sandcrawler. So it's really up to date as far as the product that has come out so far.
I wonder, does it show the if you can see the planet sets, whether it shows the sets that never got released in the US? There was
Let's see if what does it mention when it
series
goes
3, I
mini
think it was
sets,
3 or 4.
and they go into the bag, the polybag
Oh, the
sets.
polybags as well, nice.
Yeah, mini sets. Let's see what
I think it
what
was
set.
series 3 or 4. If there was, if you,
Yeah,
it should be.
it doesn't have them broken out by series. It just has them all on a two-page
Ah,
spread.
okay.
Um,
It was a snowspeeder pilot, I think it was.
okay.
Oh, look, not a big deal.
Yeah,
But it was
it
one of
doesn't say.
yeah. It was one of the things that I felt Lego kept really quiet about was that one of the waves of the Planet series just never left Europe at all. It never
Right.
reached Australia or America at all, and it was really hard to get them. Very
Yeah, I
expensive.
think they're just counting it as a. I found a few errors throughout this book as well.
Here you go.
But yeah,
You
it
need to
just
get a
basically
job
says
of these.
it was released. It was available for sale somewhere, so it's in the book.
You need to get a job of these companies to fix all the corrections. A proofreader for
Right.
Star
Like,
Wars.
I mean, uh, one that kind of caught my eye. I don't know if I'll be able to find it here in the time I'm looking, but um, the cons have usually in the past few have had an exclusive um, set, whether it most recently I'm thinking of like those tin sets that have come out. There was Darth Maul, I think, with Sith Infiltrator, and then a Boba Fett with Slave One. Um, let's see, what is it? They designated the I think it was the Slave One as coming out at Celebration 6
Mm-hmm.
in 2002.
Oh,
No, that's not right. So I mean,
does make sense.
I work in advertising for a living. I make errors all the time in that regard. You know, we
It
try to
happens. It
we
happens.
try to avoid them when possible, but
Yeah, but if they sent some fans like us some of these copies of things in advance for nothing, we could review them and proofread them for them.
right.
But we'll see.
Yeah. So then in the back of the book, there's a whole section of, oh, here's promotional pieces. Here it is. Slave One, Celebration 6, 2007. That
Yeah.
wasn't 2007, right?
No, it was 2012, I think, wasn't it?
Right.
Something like that.
So anyway,
So, yeah.
and then if, like I said, you go to the back of the book, they have a fan creation section where they have like a
Excellent.
Mos
Yeah, I've
Eisley
seen that
deal.
set, yes. I've seen that.
There's a cool Death Star port deal that they've
Nice.
done. And then the very back of the book has the minifigure gallery, which was very
Beautiful.
cool. I don't know if any of the other books had it. Like I said, I haven't picked up those.
They did. They did.
But yeah, every
Maybe not.
single figure that has come out is
Is reviewed.
here. So
Oh, sure.
it's
It's a
amazing
big list.
some of the representations of the characters and how they've changed over the years.
Yeah, God, yeah.
Just a massive amount. So
I
that was a
know.
cool pickup this week.
You've tempted me. I may have a look at it now. Actually,
Yeah,
not
I
gonna lie.
would definitely check it out if I were you, being the Lego minifigure fan you are.
I am indeed.
Like I said, I picked up the Microfighter X-Wing, the mini Build-A-Fighter deal from Toys R Us.
Mhm.
I got a 6-inch Stormtrooper that came from, I think that was Hasbro Toy Shop when they went up for sale for that brief 30-second window. And some more damn Simpson figures.
You're a Legoaholic already. You're
I know,
getting
it's
worse.
sick.
It's a sickness. It's a sickness, an expensive sickness. I get no Star Wars again this week. Again, after a little boring conversation, I'm trying to not buy crap. It's very hard for me, but I'm trying not to buy stuff. However, I did buy the Simpsons Lego minifigures. The set, I'll get them soon. But what I did get this week, and it's not Star Wars, is Batman and Robin, the 1960s versions. They are insanely cool. I love these. Fly Girl, Mrs. Fly Guy was kind of like, what are you buying them for? And I'm like, I just love them. So.
And who
Yes,
produced those?
This is Hot Toys.
Hot Toys.
Hot Toys, and yes, they are men in tights. But they're rather cool men in tights. It's Batman. Come on. So that was my big purchase this week. So that's it. Absolutely nothing else I bought, and saved my pennies for some sales, and for me, the fourth goodies at certain sites and places. I'll be buying some stuff, and that's it.
Sounds good. With that, we will wrap up this week's show. We'd like to thank all of our friends that had given us mentions this week. I won't go through all of them; they are too many, and they know who they are. But obviously, our friends at Jedi Temple Archives and Yoda's News and Star Wars News Star Wars Action News, Jedi News, all those guys. Also, like to thank Dorkside Toys. They're big friends over here, and we want to make sure that you check out the latest episode of Boring Conversation Anyway, where I join Fly Guy and Dan Curto and Paul Harrison from Jedi Temple Archives. Who else? Chris from Bantha Skull, Tamer from Imperial Shipyards,
everybody.
Eddie from Dorkside Toys. We all talk about this past week's news.
Episode 7 primarily, I think.
Big episode 7 discussion, and a little bit more on a few toy bits and pieces here and there, but mostly episode 7 expanded universe retcon type of show.
Indeed.
Perfect. So I think we will see you next week if all goes as planned and as expected.
I know. I think there's going to be a lot more news next week. May the 4th, hopefully there's going to be some more releases and stuff coming soon. Revenge of the 5th is yet to
Mm,
come. There's
yep.
another day, apparently, I can't remember which one it is. There's another day somebody started making up.
Day of
Something
the
of the
5th.
7th or the 8th or something. I can't
Yep.
remember. But yeah, there should be some more news. So we'll have another Black Series, hopefully an image to come next week as well if you don't see it through the week. So yeah.
Sounds good. We will see you next
Yes.
week, and thanks everyone for watching and listening and commenting, and we
Hmm.
will see you again.
See you later.